Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's DJ Slope again from Slope's Game Room. And you always wanted me to do a game room tour. You know, this is Slope's Game Room. Here we are. Here we are. Obviously not, no. This is Level Up Games, and I'm here with Alex and Gemma.
Hello.
Hello. So yes, this is my local retro game shop. I say local, about an hour or so away from where I live. But guys, if you want to go and check out Level Up Games, there will be links down below. There'll be stuff on the screen as we speak. I've got to animate this if you look around too much. Yeah, so if any of you guys are down in Kent, in Canterbury, to be precise, Level Up Games are a quality little shop that I've known for quite 4 years now. I think
something like that.
4 years. Yeah, I've had my 4-year
to
anniversary recently at work. You see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Must be.
Awesome little shop, and this is going to be the first of 2 quality little videos that I'm recording here. Yes.
More news soon on that.
Yes, absolutely. It's very, very exciting. I've got in there just in the nick of time with, patrons will know what I'm talking about, and if you want to know, then you know what to do. Right, so yeah, I asked my Patreons today to ask me questions, but this time not just ask me, because what happens is I get new patrons come along and then I get the same question quite a lot. What's your favourite game? And I reckon I've answered that quite a lot now. It's Sonic and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which technically 2 games. I hope that's not one of the questions because I've just answered it. But
we can ask us that question.
Yeah, I'm going to ask a question. Yes. What are your favourite games, guys?
You go, ladies first. Come on.
Oh, okay. I've got so many. Well, I'm a massive Persona 4 fan. Massive Persona 4 fan to the point I've got like so much merchandise and bits and pieces and jewellery. I'm a huge Persona fan, but I'm also a big fan of Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, sure.
Moon, I've actually got a Harvest Moon tattoo. I'm a massive fan of it because I really enjoy just how calming it is, and it's just very nice to play a chilled out game. Hence why I'm currently on Stardew Valley. Because it is,
yes.
a more modern Harvest Moon, and that's very enjoyable. I've got it for the PlayStation and the Switch.
Yeah.
And
I've been playing it on the Switch.
Yeah, and I got really upset because I married Harvey and he upset me, so I divorced him.
And you turned your children into doves.
I didn't have any dove children, thank you very much.
I'm not that far in the game, know what you're talking about. I just got to level 100 in the mines, but we haven't got much further than that.
Cool.
That's dedication. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Don't marry Harvey.
Oh dear. Anyone outside of Britain might know that reference. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll go. Oh no, sorry. What's your favourite game? Sorry.
I know this one.
Yeah, my ultimate favourite game, what I could play forever, is the old Desert Island Discs question. Isn't it? What would you play forever if you could?
Yes. But I find that to be a different answer sometimes in your favourite game.
Yeah. I've got a spin on that as well. I'll tell you that in a minute. My favourite game is We Love Katamari. Yeah. The second one, the one that was released in England and America and Japan. The first one of the Katamari series was Japanese release only, I understand.
All my knowledge comes on the Xbox 360 version, really. So I don't know.
Beautiful
That's the
Katamari.
thing. We actually tried lots of the other Katamari games, but it's actually We Love Katamari that we've always just loved.
The PlayStation 2 version. It's just, the levels are really nice, the design's beautiful, the music is just adorable.
The music is great. Music is great. I've used that a lot of time on my videos.
It's not an expensive game.
Really good.
That's mine. The Desert Island Discs spin on it is this is a question we've been asked before as well, and it's something that can go out as well. If you could choose one console and its games, what would that console be? Now, interestingly, I'd go with the PlayStation 1, but your choice
I do understand the PlayStation 1. Well, actually, I get the PlayStation 2 because, of the amount of RPGs in it, and I'm a big RPG fan. But personally, I would choose Super Nintendo because that's that was the console that got me into RPGs, and I love them. I love the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. The PlayStation 1 for me there's so much diversity on it. I mean, you can bounce from LAPD through all the G Police stuff, and then you're out on the other side, and things like Zero Divide and Parappa the Rapper was so odd.
I'm glad you said the game at the end there that I knew what you were talking about. RPGs.
Well,
Parappa the Rapper is incredible.
Just to warn you, I will be mentioning RPGs a lot.
I don't get to do this in my games. All my games are in the attic. If I reference a game, I've got to go rummage through. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
What would your one be then?
Yeah.
Favourite game of all time is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but that's completable in an hour or so.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
What console then? What one console?
One console.
And its games would you have? There, on the spot.
See, my favourite console of all time is the Mega Drive, but like I said, all those games are very arcadey and you just get them big, go through them really quickly.
Yeah, but like you said, favourite console versus Desert Island console.
Yeah. It would probably be, maybe for sheer quantity, something like the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Dreamcast. That's like one of my favourites as well. I love the Dreamcast.
To be honest, I never went beyond Mega Drive with Sega. It's not that I haven't got any love for them. My history with it was always Master System, Mega Drive, and then Nintendo, and then Sony.
Sure.
That's pretty much. I've been a Sony girl for like a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got very little knowledge of Sega outside of the Mega Drive.
There you go. Right, guys. So this is the Patreon Q&A. I've asked the first question, but so I asked my patrons. Ask me some questions, but this time they're not just going to be answered by me. We're going to have Level Up Games answer a few questions as well. And I've just seen the first question isn't even a question, but Ben Jackson, recognise the name? I love Level Up Games. Great little shop with an amazing collection. I always figure in a visit every time I pass Canterbury. Great to see them getting exposure they deserve. Not really a question,
Thank you, Ben. Probably know you when we see you, so apologies.
There's tons of folk we recognise by face.
Yes. Yeah.
Names of people we often forget. There's so many people introduce themselves, but we're great with faces.
Yeah, yeah.
So come in, make sure you say hi.
How are you doing?
Cheers, Ben. Cheers, Ben. So yes, next one, Mike Fallon. What kind of kits would you like to see come out for Nintendo Labo? It's asked a few questions. That's the first one.
That's a good one. Do you want to go?
I'll go first.
I did the last one first.
I've got to think. I don't know.
They could extend the idea they did with the motorbike.
Yeah.
The Switch has got great functionality with the Amiibos. If you had, because the motorbike one had this weird little scanner, you put the Joy-Con in and you could scan a surface like you could scan someone's face. Jack did that to my face and turned our son Jack did that to my face and turned my face into the motorcycle circuit.
Yeah, I never saw that one. I think it's because you two built the motorbike when I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
I've not played with that though. I think it'd be great. If my son was a little bit older, I think I would have got it.
We've got the variety kit, but not the robot kit.
Yeah, and you could use, like with the house, you had all these add-ons and because everything with the Labo works on those the light reflective bits, and the Joy-Con reads all of that, and you could almost build like a house with furniture in it, and that could scan that environment. Then you could tap your Amiibo and have the characters actually within the environments, and you could make this weird little RPG builder. So you kind of take on like the Miitopia, Animal Crossing, Happy Home Designer, all that kind of pastoral building simulator thing, and actually turn it into something using your actual Amiibos and the
surely
scanner.
that's
That
the
could be
next
quite
step.
fun.
That's the next step, is actually incorporating games and franchises everyone knows by using this. I mean, carrying on, personally, I like the idea of maybe building a sword and shield and you actually being in a dungeon and you're dungeon crawling.
Bit of Link in there.
Yeah. And then with the sword and the shield, it could do the mini games like it does, for example, with, the variety kit and everything. But then it could go further by, incorporating it maybe into Breath of the Wild. So, you're actually playing as Link and you're swinging the sword.
Well, I remember when, what was it, Twilight Princess, when that first came out and you did that thing where you pulled back and let go, and you actually heard the sound go from your controller. I know you can't do it with cardboard, but I know you would be able to because it's coming out. Is there a speaker on it? No, there isn't a speaker on it.
No, but it's got the vibration.
Yeah.
And I was like so incredible.
So you can actually, if you do it on a bow and arrow, you could feel the vibration of the
I think I'm really. Sega did a lot of weird papercraft stuff of their consoles, and I'd like to see Nintendo do that. Make a little Game Boy, and then you're playing your Game Boy. That'd be my thing. Anything to do with retro gaming, that's all I care about. So yeah, something like that.
Sword and Shield would be wicked.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield would be good. He also asks, the impending death of GameStop, good or bad for gamers? So I suppose we would relate that to game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Personally, I think bad.
Yeah.
That's because I am the person, I don't like to order my editions, my collector's editions online. I like to go into the shop, I like to see it, and I like to come out with a big shiny bag.
Did you pre-order it in the shop? Go in and see it?
pre-order in the shop.
Right.
Yeah, obviously there's some online exclusives which are fine. It's different then, but I like to have the shiny bag. I like to then treat myself to a cup of tea or something, and knowing I've got it there and it's nice and it's
sure.
It's very much more of an event going to someone to pick something up that you've bought.
And plus the trading, you can trade in for. Oh, was you're going to say that?
I was going to say
that.
I'm sorry. Okay. No, don't be quiet. We share the same view on this.
Yeah.
It's a very tactile experience, picking a game up. The modern era is geared towards downloads. Everyone is buying things as downloads.
And even they come with their exclusive content, don't they? If you pre-order it, you get that costume or whatever it may be.
Even if it's just a code in the box or a code on the receipt, it still becomes a digital event. You can do that online without leaving the comfort of your own home, but you lack that sort of tactility of picking up an actual collector's edition and like reading the manual on the bus home.
That was so exciting.
That could be a question in itself, actually, about manuals.
The whole thing,
I miss manuals. I mean, the occasional time we actually get, like, say, a PlayStation 4 game with a manual, we get so excited.
Yeah, I was excited. I got Puyo Tetris imported from Japan, and it came with literally a sheet like that. But a tiny one for the Switch, so about that, and I was like, "Look, Joanne!" Like my wife, "Look!" And she just didn't care. But I was like, "This is so important."
I think it's like, even if you just open it up and there's just the general information, like the warranty or something, it still feels like a manual. It still feels like something.
I know the days of giant wads of paper have gone because everyone's concerned.
And then because they have it in every language.
The carbon footprint of anyone. So open it up and there's just a disc and all the warranties imprinted on the inside of the inlay, but. Everyone's concerned about the carbon footprint of everything, but the tactility of something like this is missing, I think, when it's just purely digital.
But anyway, we're going off on a tangent now from the original question.
But the lack of...
what was it about GameStop?
If shops like GameStop and Game et al. It cease to exist on the high street, then you lose that experience.
More things will become digital only.
You lose the ability to trade something in somewhere.
I do believe we'll never go digital only. Because we've gotten to a point where all these limited run-esque shops, like your Play Asias and your Play exclusives and your limited runs and all these different guys, there's so many of them now that are pushing on those little indie games, just a quicker run of 3,000. And people like me, I've already got Thumper, but should I spend 80 quid to get it again with a manual and a CD and all this other stuff? And
or the final soundtrack.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. Yeah, exactly.
You're a sucker for those.
I am, majorly.
I was really tempted to actually try and pre-order us the Night Trap. But I don't even play Night Trap. I've tried Night Trap and I can't. They all die. I can't do it.
I believe it's stupidly easy on the Nintendo Switch. Anyway, Nintendo shits wouldn't do it, should they? In their court cases, we would never have Night Trap on one of our consoles. Like, you bastards.
A customer about Nintendo, like only yesterday, about Nintendo branching out into the more non-Nintendo-esque games.
Yeah, I mean, it came from the early days of them being very, very aware of what they were putting out, and then wanting their very particular quality of things, which
family
is why
company.
Yeah,
that was
which
the whole
is
point.
why they removed blood from Mortal Kombat, and there wasn't really anything shock horror until things like Mad World appeared on the Wii. That was
pretty full on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that completely. That was really
the advertising for that and everything.
Especially coming from Sega as well. Everyone was like, a Sega game on the Wii that's not like anything we've seen before.
I felt that a little bit of me was like, a little bit of a middle finger to Nintendo there. Get past that, family friendly.
Yeah. But because the parents may want something to play that they've seen their kids enjoying the console, so they're broadening their appeal. They're comfortable in effective third place behind PC, Xbox, and Sony. So they wanted something to bring themselves further into the market.
And I suppose at the same time you've got to bear in mind that when Nintendo first came out back in the 80s, well, console-wise, back in the 80s, I was a kid then, and now I'm in my mid-30s, and I still love Nintendo. I still have the Switch, but I don't necessarily want to play the same content I did as a kid. I don't want to just play my Marios. I want to play something I did.
Yeah, sure.
So I suppose if you bear that in mind, yes, Nintendo are family company, but the kids have grown up with Nintendo. They are now adults. They're parents themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree, Game and GameStop and companies like that should still exist.
We hope.
Although
We hope.
it's one of those things. I tell you what will happen. The day that I hope it doesn't happen, but the day Game and GameStop go, all those people that are on your line right now saying like they hate Game and they hate GameStop, they're all like, remember how good it was going in Game.
Well, it's like the days of, now as it's online play, your friends can all be in their 5 different houses and you play online. But do you remember the day when you would pack up your N64 in your official N64 case and carry it down the road to your best friend's house and plug it in? It's pretty much the same sort of thing. People have nostalgia about that. What if in say 20 years, after Game and GameStop have shut, it would be the same thing. I remember going to the shops to actually buying my games and seeing them and seeing how excited everyone was on launch day.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know why Game and GameStop don't have these, the Minecraft's huge and Fortnite's huge, having this sort of stuff in the shop to bring kids in there, rather than having 2 or 3 aisles just full of Funkos and mugs and things like that. It'd be cool if they had stations for kids to all go in there and play Fortnite.
I have heard through the ethos of the grapevine that there are quite a lot of the bigger stores anyway wanted to actually push out that esports thing, so you'd have half console, half PC.
I went into a HMV, I think it was when the Trocadero was open, they did that.
Yeah, well, because esports is such a big thing. I mean, we're not PC gamers, but we're well aware of the market. And there's a good crossover with Fortnite, et al, and Minecraft, and so it's all crosses over together. So to have that esports idea within the stores would actually bring people back into an area to share ideas and meet other people who are playing. But I
think it could happen as well. I mean, VR, people want to come out of their homes to try out VR. I mean, Beat Saber have just announced that Beat Saber Arcade is coming. So, I mean, there isn't that many arcades around, so the perfect place to put that in would be in game shops. And obviously, that would be bad for Level Up Games, but that would get more people down into game shops. I mean, I look at your sort of shop as a classic record shop or something like that for the people that are into the retro gaming. That's how I see it. Anyway.
Yeah, we do too, I think.
Yes. We're still on the same guy. He also asked, what sports should Mario tackle next?
What hasn't he? What hasn't he tackled?
There isn't many, is there? Like all the main ones. He's done football. Have you done rugby? I don't want to play a rugby game.
We branch out from the main sports. Why not do something
Zorbing.
fun? Oh, I did Zorbing. Zorbing was fantastic. We've been it. It's brilliant.
Highly recommended.
But how something like out of the box, the weird Olympics with cheese rolling.
No, we're down the hill,
I was only reading an article about the World Wife Carrying Championship. So it'd be like wife carrying, and then
so it turns into basically Mario Bishy Bashy, doesn't it?
Extreme ironing, Mario.
He can carry Peach, then she could swap and carry him, and stuff like that, or maybe just something like a nice game of bowls or something like that. I mean, he's not a young man anymore.
No. Bowls. Can you imagine? You'd buy that for the craziness.
The Chap Olympics.
Oh yeah.
The Mario in his top hat, and
it's a real thing. Have you heard of it? Yeah, it's a real thing.
Top hat needs to be doing this. Doesn't
well, he's had it with in Mario Odyssey.
All right.
With his top hat and his tailcoat.
So the thing is, there's loads that I feel like they have done rugby. Because there was the Mario and Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, and I think it's in one of them, maybe.
That's the thing about the Olympics, that's why I'm sort of...
you've got to try and branch it out.
I mean,
when you see that picture of Sonic, the Hedgehog, riding a horse, you're like, something's not right here. If I saw this at 10 years old, I'm like, what? I'll put that picture up if I can find it. I'll bother to edit in.
Look into the Chap Olympics. It's real and it's amazing.
So I keep licking my lips, guys. I've been drinking too much Pepsi.
No, I'm the same actually. It's really dry in here.
By the time this has come out, I've actually done that video.
Did you have it with pizza?
Is it delicious?
Pepsi for pizza.
Is it delicious and healthful?
What was it? Healthy for TV game.
Healthful.
So Chap Olympics, Zorbing, rugby, but that's
extreme ironing.
Yeah, extreme ironing. Yeah, doing gymnastics on the ironing board while ironing.
Either that, or he goes to individual nations and does all the sports associated with that nation. He'll visit Scotland and just go caper tossing and haggis hunting and
haggis hunting. That's a good one. I like the cheese rolling. I think that's good. The international break your neck competition. So that was Jacob Coy. Thank you very much. And Mike Fallon was the last one. Tim Labonte asks, what's the most money you ever put into playing an arcade cabinet? For me, the one I remember was Turtles Arcade.
Oh yeah.
But I actually believe there was another one which was a Time Crisis type game. I just don't remember it. It was something to do with ninjas. But guaranteed, actually, no, what it was Dance Dance Revolution Eurostar Mix 2.
That's exactly what I was going to say, actually, DDR. I spent so much time in the holiday
Are you good at it?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, if you are, I've been looking for a rival.
Dance off!
But, you know, I just jump around and have fun. I'm not one of those people that hold the bar at the back and just tap their feet. I just have a laugh with it. But no, DDR, and then followed by House of the Dead for me. Two complete different things.
I love being in the shop to be able to do stuff like this. Mario Stage Dancing Mix.
Our son actually played this all the way through very recently because we had an amazing arcade machine type dance mat.
Oh no, yeah,
it was fantastic. Such a fun game.
I actually used some of the music. They're like techno remixes of the original like Mario tunes.
Yeah, but then he also dances ballet and everything. So that question about what sport would you? I was actually going to say dancing, but then I just thought, wait a minute, he's already danced. So you know.
Look at that. One side of it's got Super Smash Bros. Melee, one of the best games ever made. Right next to the other one, Piglet's Big Game. There you go. Hey. That's Tim LeBonte. And he actually was asking, arcade games?
I put a lot of money into a wrestling game back when I was at school because the cafe just down the road had a wrestling machine. My best friend, one of my best friends, I can't remember which one it was. I didn't know.
Or something,
I didn't have cable or Sky or any of that growing up, so it was always second-hand information. And there was a wrestling arcade machine in the cafe. And so we'd go in there for a cup of tea at break time, and my mate would just be chucking money in it. And he taught me who the wrestlers were and how to play the game, so that was really good fun. The most money I put into an arcade machine myself was probably Point Blank.
Yes. Whenever that's at one of these events, it's guaranteed always a line to play that game. It's so good. The
other one I remember chucking a lot of money into, this is really, really far out there, is Cosmic Smash.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
Okay,
I've never played the arcade game.
I don't know that
This is Dreamcast era.
Yeah.
That's probably why I don't know it then.
It's line art figure with a racket crossed with Breakout.
Yes, it's like res mixed with Breakout.
It's really odd. It's worthy of a video in its own right. It's a really weird machine.
There you go.
It's a really weird game for the Dreamcast. Look this up, folks. But
don't look it up too much because I might do a video.
Very odd game. But I found the arcade machine in a pool hall back in London. We always used to go to, and all of a sudden there's this gloomy pool hall, and there's this bright white Sega arcade machine.
Oh, you told me about this.
And it's like, what is that? So we all played it, and I played it for like the rest of the week. Everyone else was, do you want to come and play pool? No, I'm playing this. This is much better.
How did it work? Was it like a controller? Was it an actual racket? Like was it VR-esque?
No, it was a joystick and controller.
Right.
So it was just your basic.
I need to look into this more because I think it's actually part of a mini series of games a little bit. Not sequels, but there's more in that series.
It had that early 2000s Sega arcade looking machine. The Crazy Taxi one was just this weird frame with a monitor and a steering wheel. It was exactly the same as that, but just white and orange. Very odd.
Yes, to fit that Japanese Dreamcast look as well.
That was just
Is it quite their machine?
Yes.
Yeah, I've literally never seen it. I don't even think I'm sure I don't even think I've seen a picture online.
Stood in the corner of this.
So I wonder what happened to that one that you played.
Oh no.
Where is it now?
Who knows?
Could still be there.
And yourself, arcade cabinet?
I told you, DDR.
Oh, DDR, of course, yes.
And then probably followed by House of the Dead, which I know is a complete opposite, but I do remember playing House of the Dead a lot, going to various holiday camps with my friends when I was about 16, 17.
Well, we're all on light gun games, and you've got House of the Dead, I got Point Blank, you had Time Crisis.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've actually played House of the Dead. I have tried it on like the Saturn. Yeah. We had that nice. Was it the Saturn or Dreamcast? We had that.
Probably the Dreamcast.
Yeah,
that one up there. That's the one I've got up there.
Yeah.
House of the Dead 2. House of the Dead.
I only ever really liked it on the arcade. I don't know, maybe it's something about the big screen or the atmosphere, but I've only ever really liked House of the Dead on the arcade machine.
I'll tell you what, I felt like a boss though, putting in the actual Dreamcast gun, and you actually have to put the rumble in it, and it just feels like you're putting in. But you had to choose between the rumble or the VMU, because they didn't put two slots, did they, on the gun? There you go. Look, couldn't take it out and save it! Has a console ever crapped the bed on you? And if so, did you fix it, replace it, or just buy another brand? I've never.
Viking Burial!
I'm assuming that means has it gone wrong?
Yeah. Tim. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a time when I've ever fixed the console. I've just sold them, and I even sold a multi-mega broken once, and just got another one. I've gone through plenty of PlayStation 2s because I just find they're so cheap to just buy another one.
Yeah, I mean, not.
I know you guys, you fix up something.
In my own games, in like the games and the consoles I own.
Yeah.
No, I've actually been pretty lucky. But here, yeah, all the time. Yeah, we're always having to fix up SNESes, NESes, Mega Drives. I mean, you've learned how to do soldering. You've learned how to do open cart surgery on Pokemon carts and stuff.
Yeah, keep the game saves if you're lucky.
Yeah.
We fix a lot of things here that we can.
Yeah.
The modern stuff. Anything with a laser on it is a lot harder to work.
Most disc-based things are kind of tricky, but cart-based ones generally aren't.
The more advanced the machines get, the harder they are to fix as well. There's no user serviceable parts. You just rip that out and put a new one in.
Yeah.
There's no point in trying to fix something that you can't fix at home, and you just chuck it all away and start again.
Yeah, and generally the fees that, say, like other repair companies charge to actually say fix your Xbox 360, it's actually cheaper to buy just another second-hand one.
I remember I did the whole towel trick actually on the Xbox 360. I made it last like another 6 months, and then there was no repairing it after that.
No, we've known people who've gone through several in a year just because they just kept
red ring
kept failing on them.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Tim Labonte, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pixels Limited, new YouTuber, very good channel by the way. Go check him out. But he asked me a question. He actually the video I've just done with Pixels Limited. He does like videos, movies actually with people like who's that Londoner that's a bit of a twat. You know, Scouser guy. He's in all of the crappy.
Danny Dyer.
I failed that. I had to explain that. I couldn't remember his name. I actually love Danny Dyer. But I had to explain it that way for you to understand who I'm talking about. He does movies with Danny Dyer, and Danny Dyer is actually a bit of a legend. But yeah, he does stuff with Danny Dyer. He was in a new Star Wars movie. He was in Rogue One as an actor. Not as a cleaner or something, I don't know. But yeah, he's just done a video with us, so go check him out with me, Guru Larry, and Timmy Mallet was all in that video. That's a weird little collaboration, isn't it?
I'm gonna see that. You say
apparently
Timmy Mallet, I'm there.
He's gonna send me some stuff if he sends me a Mallet, man.
I remember Timmy Mallet.
Yellow polka dot bikini.
I'm gonna have that in my head now.
Thinking of the earliest and most basic video games, 1970s, early 80s arcade titles, or Atari 2600 and Coleco titles, which are your favourite games that seem to get forgotten about nowadays? For example, I actually prefer Rally X to Pac-Man and Galaga to Space Invaders. Cheers. I don't know. Well, I wish that was one I looked up first before I asked it.
Yeah.
I can see entirely why Galaga over Space Invaders. It is a better game.
Yeah. Because we've had both the Space Invaders machine and a Galaga one in at the same time.
Space Invaders has the classic kudos to it. It's
Hey guys, again, I don't know where that cut off, but yeah, you was already said about Galaga is better than Space Invaders. I'm sure it was still on at that point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just because it's more iconic.
I suppose I've just seen our Miss Pac-Man cabinet there, and it just reminds me that I suppose Miss Pac-Man is actually better than Pac-Man.
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
because the AI
more
is better. The ghosts actually do more. They don't follow a set pattern. They follow you more. I can't actually think of games like from the Atari era off the top of my head. To be honest,
all the games I can think of at the Atari area are the big ones anyway, so they're going to be the best ones. You know what I mean? Like Yar's Revenge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
E.T.'s nowhere near as bad as people make it out. It's not the worst game in the world.
I don't think it's that bad at all, especially when you watch the documentary and see he had 6 weeks to do it. And one guy, it's actually not terrible.
It took the fall for a lot of other games.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It just happened to be, I suppose, the scapegoat.
Yes.
If you want to call it something, it was the scapegoat for what was going on in the gaming industry at the time.
I mean, as much vitriol as Activision get nowadays for producing shovelware, the Atari era for them was glorious. Things like River Raid, that's a beautiful game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to Nintendo, Donkey Kong Jr. is really good.
Yeah, the sequels to Donkey Kong are actually not better than the original because that like really put the groundwork in.
Yeah.
But they're like, there's a bit more to them, aren't they? You know, the games they've added more to them. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, where you're Is it number? This is Donkey Kong Jr. where you're saving Donkey Kong from Mario. Is it that way? Is it that one? Yeah. I quite like a lot of maze games. Obviously, the prime maze game would be Pac-Man, but one of the first games the first game I ever completed was Fast Food Dizzy on the Amstrad, and I've always had a little bit of a soft spot for that.
Yeah.
Very easy, but I think that was really cool. And also Oh Mummy on the Amstrad. That was on everything actually. Oh Mummy.
Going on maze games, I mean, we played Haunted House.
We did.
On the
oh my god,
2600s.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I found it really, really hard.
Really?
Yeah, I'm finding the more, I suppose, for lack of a better word, basic games harder than they are today. So it's like,
There's no easy mode. There's no learning. The learning curve is playing the game.
Yeah.
It's, okay, you keep dying, keep failing. You get a bit further every time. You just chipping away.
And then you just know what you're doing in the end. But yeah, I found that one really hard.
So yeah, Pixel Limited, thank you very much for that one. I think we sort of answered it. It was that's a tough one. A good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Nice question.
Yeah.
Ben Jackson asks, what's your tip for the next big collector console? Prices for the Saturn and Dreamcast have skyrocketed, and the Saturn majorly skyrocketed.
Saturn, yeah.
Dreamcast, you can still get a good couple of really good games actually quite cheap. I'm looking up there, like some of the best games I would say for the Dreamcast are still under £10 probably. Under 15. But yeah, so for skyrocketed. What's next? Is it the N-Gage? Please say it's the N-Gage. I haven't got an N-Gage, I've played one and I'm fairly happy not to own it.
People are always asking for N-Gage.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then the PSP Go.
This is true. This is very true.
My sister bought a PSP Go on their 2-year contract and only ever had the one game that came with it, GTA 3.
I mean, the N-Gage is actually quite a powerful little unit.
Yeah. Well, it was competing with the Game Boy Advance, wasn't it, at the time?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for something like the N-Gage because everything else is having its heyday.
Sure.
Everything is. We are getting people in all the time for what Neo Geo's really popular, isn't it, at the moment?
It always has been. It's got that sort of holy grail collectibles.
But
It's like the PC Engine-esque, isn't it? It's that the third, the cousin of the console race.
TurboGrafx.
There's a lot of things like Vectrex,
CDI, all things that aren't like the main line.
The CDI.
So they're always going to be a bit more expensive. And I suppose they should be because they technically should be rarer. Whereas things like Sonic 3 or the original Mario do go up in price, even though they're nowhere near rare. Like everyone fucking has that. So everyone has that game. But yeah, no, at least with the CDI and stuff like that, they are actually a bit more rare.
Yeah.
So normally it's just a couple of generations behind, isn't it? So things like the PlayStation 2 will start going up.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's so much quantity.
I mean, when it's almost like, when do you classify something as retro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it like, a generation thing? Because we are now on the PS4, and I think there's rumours about the PS5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So would the PS2 be considered retro now?
Well, that's the thing. I actually said in my...
It's subjective.
What was the video I just did? Something PlayStation, I can't even remember. Oh, Klonoa. I done my Klonoa video, and I actually said in that, like, for the retro console that is the PlayStation 2, someone get me my walking stick, because that's something I don't even. That's weird to say that's retro because I was playing that in my secondary years rather than when I was a little kid.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, personally, I don't consider it retro.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It is. It's like, because I almost feel like if I say like the PlayStation 2 or the Cube or anything disc-based, if I say it's retro, it doesn't sit right.
But then I think the Sega Saturn, in my mind, there's no question the Sega Saturn is retro. Even to the Dreamcast, but maybe it's because Sega are dead.
Because Sega don't do any consoles anymore.
Not dead.
So it's different. It's all like PlayStation is still going. Nintendo is still going.
Yeah.
Sega don't do consoles anymore.
Exactly.
So yes, it is retro because there's no more.
And also when they've done the Mega Drive collection recently, one of the main questions asked, where's the Dreamcast collection and where's the Saturn collection, which makes me feel like they're not. That they are retro. It makes me feel like they are retro when people are after those classics.
There was that Dreamcast collection of 4 games. On the 360.
But didn't it include Space Channel 5 Part 2 that was never on the Dreamcast anyway? Yeah. Was it in one part of the world on the Dreamcast?
I think so.
It wasn't in the UK.
No. I know I played it on the Dreamcast.
I played it on the PlayStation 2. I don't think it came out on the Dreamcast. Space Channel 5 Part 2. I need to look this up.
Yeah, you're going to look it up.
I'll look in a minute.
Google.
But so obvious, wasn't it? Crazy Taxi, Space Channel 5, Sega Bass Fishing, which is incredible.
Choo Choo Rocket.
Was that on there?
Dreamcast?
On the Dreamcast Collection.
Oh, right, no.
There was 4 on there. I can't remember what the 4th one is. You tell you what they need to do from the Dreamcast. Why have they never released a collection pack of the Power Stone games? I know there's only 2. But putting those 2 together.
I love Power Stone.
Well, they did it with the PSP.
It's so much fun.
Capcom.
They did it with the PSP, but I want it on an. I'd pay 20 quid for that download. Play that game online. Like, that would be amazing. They ain't got to do nothing.
There you go, you've heard it here first.
They ain't got to do nothing. They just put it on there. You've already put it onto PlayStation architecture with the PSP. Get it done. Get it on the PSN.
PSP stuff's becoming a little bit collectible.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one. That's a good answer
Yeah.
there. PSP. Even the Vita to a degree, but most of that's because it just didn't sell very well.
We were saying that as well, that there weren't that many releases for the Vita. I mean, I don't actually have a Vita anymore. I use my Play TV.
Well, I need to get a Play TV.
We're one of like 3 people we know who own a Play TV.
I'm really annoyed because when my PlayStation 4 died, there you go, and from answering the overhand, I bought another one. I bought a second one, and I bought it from a website that said they'd send me a free Play TV. So I was just waiting for them, to get paid that month, which was like a week later. Bought it, and then the promotion wasn't there anymore. Like, come on, I didn't check, so I missed out, and I ended up paying extra than where I could have got it elsewhere just to get the Play TV, which wasn't part of that promotion when I eventually bought it.
Not all the Vita games are compatible because
there's a new mod, so every single game will be compatible.
Seriously, I did not know
every
that.
single one. There's only about 40% that are compatible, but with this extra thing that messes
there
around
were
with
a
it.
few that I wanted to actually get for my Play TV, but I did actually check before buying.
Yeah, there's
is
something
it compatible?
about-
And they don't.
You
I
have
was going
to-
to get the Muppet game or something for Joe.
Yeah, you have to update it somehow, but firmware-esque. But there's a video on YouTube I literally saw like a week or so ago. Yeah, you can play every game
Oh,
on there.
brilliant.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yes, and they're still releasing Vita games on these limited run places. In fact, if I didn't own this for the Switch, I would have got this. There's a game called Severed, which has just been announced. It hasn't come out yet, which I've got for the Switch, and it is incredible. If I'm correct, it's done by the people that done Guacamole. Or
really?
guacamole.
Okay.
It's a weird, very, very colourful, that sort of colour, very jaggedy edge characters, but in a weird first-person world. You just literally move around and move into the next room and into the next room.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's so good. And the whole game's done with the character comes on screen. You've got to kill it with your hands, like in a special way. Brilliant game. Not of a spider, you have to chop off its legs first, and it's really cool. It's really cool, and it makes it so perfectly unique for only the Switch and the Vita because of all the touch screens. Really good, brilliant little game. Maybe the Wii U as well if they ever did that. I think we answered that question.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Ben Jackson. Petty Mew. Are there any non-UK released games you wish had come here? If so, which games?
Yes. Sorry, I've already got that. So straight away. Yes. Harvest Moon 64.
Right.
I've heard it's actually a really, really good Harvest Moon game. And what one? Okay, Persona 2. There was Innocent Sin, which I believe was PSP.
I'm so glad you're here because people ask me about Persona. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're wetting the appetite for so many people.
Innocent Sin came out in the PSP. What was it called? Eternal.
No.
Oh God, it's gone out of my head. Eternal something or other. Can't rack my brain. But it's another part of Persona 2, and it's actually set a few months after the end of the original Persona 2, which again, Innocent Sin came out on the PSP. But this other one, Eternal something or other, it's gone out of my head, only came out in America and Japan, and we have had them here. But again, you need to have, the right discs to de-regionalise it. But yes, so for me, straight away, Harvest Moon 64 and Persona 2 Eternal thingy. There you go, straight away.
I've tried playing a few, and back in the day when I couldn't actually even understand what the hell was going on. I'm a huge anime fan. So there were things like Neon Genesis Evangelion. There were 2 or 3 games that came out for the Saturn in Japan for it that I've had a look at, and that looked cool, but I have no idea what's going on.
Haven't we?
Yeah,
we
have
do
had
get
them
the occasional Japanese Saturn games.
Things like Magical Knight Rayearth on the SNES.
Yes.
Are Japanese only, but the one I'd really like a translation of is something that hasn't happened again, and back to the Dreamcast. Rival Schools 2 had some weird. It wasn't a direct sequel, but it had the second disc had like a character making mini game that was almost like Sonic Shuffle, where you went around this school as one of the characters picking different attributes.
Oh, that's fun.
I played.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I love finding weird stuff like that.
I played.
Rival School's your favourite beat 'em up, isn't it?
Yeah, and
I just had one. I forgot it. Go on.
and the sequel just had that weird little mini game. You're running through the school to actually get attributes to actually create a character. I managed to play it with a tutorial on a very early website, but yeah, I'd love to see a proper translation of that. That would be my one.
I would like Excite Bots. As in, you remember that early Wii game called Excite Truck? Which is the little, you know. I actually loved that game. That was motion controls done really well, in my opinion. Like you can go.
So I love the Wii.
Zoom,
I think
really.
the Wii's fantastic.
It's brilliant console. It's got so much shovelware, which is like the PlayStation 2 gets it down a bit.
It does, but I think there's some
in between that there is
games
some
for it.
insane games.
Yeah.
Insanely games. And basically there was a sequel to that game, Excite Trucks, where you're little bugs, like robotic bugs.
Okay.
It only came out physically, I believe, in Japan via the Nintendo point system. So the only way you can get it there.
Yeah.
But it was also a download in other places as well. So come over, Jack. Answer this question. You can answer.
Go on. Go on.
Jack's waving a bit. Come in, lean in.
Hello.
What game do you want to?
Right, this is our son, Jack.
This is our
Hello. The game that I wish was released in UK that wasn't was a game called Box Boy, where like you're this little box running around.
I've seen Box Boy.
That can like
And a little
duplicate
Amiibo.
itself, and then slot its duplicates into particular places to like complete puzzles.
Yeah, I remember there was an Amiibo of it, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I think-
there's an actual Amiibo of it.
Was that only in American and Japanese? Or?
American, Japanese.
I know it was a Japanese thing. I don't know if it
Yeah.
came to America.
Another one to look up.
Yeah.
Another one, yeah.
Good choice, man.
Yeah, very
Cheers, Jack.
Just over there holding a sign saying Box Boy.
Because it's on like small biro ink. I was like, what's he saying?
Somebody mention it.
Well, now you have.
Thank you. So yeah, thank you very much, Petty Mew. She'll appreciate that. Actually. Petty Mew's cool. Petty Mew's cool. So we got the Geeky Dad, and the Geeky Dad asks, now that the World Cup is over, do you have any football games you used to play back in the back in today?
Back into there.
Me and my brother used to spend ages on ISS 64, which I'm assuming is International Superstar Soccer.
Yes.
On the N64, perhaps? Not the Commodore 64.
Konami's greatest hits. Yeah.
I did used to. I'm not a football fan.
I'm
I will
literally
admit,
not.
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
But I did play with my brother on the Super Nintendo, and it was probably FIFA 96 or something. And I remember not understanding it. Just picking whoever. I didn't know who these people were. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But
I remember in World Cup Italia 90, I was choosing teams on how pretty the flag looked. You know.
that was probably me. That's the thing. That was probably what I did as well.
Yeah, my cousin was really into World Cup Italia 90, and so he played football at the weekends. He was really into it, that sort of thing. I remember the day we bought it, I bought Batman Returns, just to this day I don't think I've ever completed, and he bought World Cup Italia 90 from the same shop, and he completed it that day. And like I say, to this day I've never played. I don't think it's a hard game. It's not too exciting.
I've never really played too many football games either. Not being a massive football fan.
No.
It's always been fun to watch with my friends, but playing the games. Apparently, I'm a really good midfielder because we did play 4-player on the PlayStation 2 with a bunch of mates back in London when I was back there before I met you even, and apparently I'm a quite good midfielder. I have no idea. The only other experience of me playing a lot of football games was also Pro Evolution, but the Japanese version, Winning 11 on the GameCube.
Winning 11, yeah.
Different housemate back in London had a big selection of import stuff. This is how I experienced a lot of the Dreamcast stuff. He loved his import.
Yeah,
so GameCube, Dreamcast, PlayStation, like playing the original Canterbury and all that. But he had Winning 11 on the GameCube.
Sure.
And that is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had playing football because the commentary is just insane. There's all these English names mixed in with super hyperkinetic, enthusiastic Japanese commentators. It's just brilliant.
I'm going to give a shout out to Actual Soccer. I believe that is Actua Soccer. For the Dreamcast, I believe there's a cheat where you can get all Sonic and Knuckles.
That sounds cool.
But there's actually, for the original Xbox, one that I did play a lot was Sega Soccer Slam, which is like an over-the-top, almost Speedball-esque soccer game, where it's just like power kick it in there and you build up your
like
game.
charge strikers.
Yeah,
I was gonna
that
say,
sort of
like
thing.
Mario. Like what about like Mario?
Mario Strikers,
stuff?
yeah. I've not played that one as much, but Sega Soccer
I've got to say, a
enjoyed that
football
quite a bit.
game that
That
I
sounds
do
good.
actually like, even now, and that's what are they called? The player managers, where you actually manage.
Oh, well,
the
Football Manager.
Yeah, Football Manager. And we
There's always
actually
that
have it
picture,
on,
isn't it, like this
PlayStation.
on the front cover.
And,
You just see the.
So it's all like, because I don't like football, but I like management.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Getting to like,
Isn't it
try
like,
and get a footballer from
Excel the
not
game?
known, trying to get an unknown footballer and then get him a wag and get him on the top teams. It's fun, you know.
Wasn't there that way game that we Football Life?
That was the one I was trying to think of. I was thinking of Football Life, not Player Manager. I was thinking of Football Life. Thank you. We gave it to our friend, didn't we?
Yeah, it's not a management
That
game.
was it. No, it was you. You are.
I was thinking of
it's
Sega's Football
behind
Manager
the
series.
scenes. That was it. It's behind the scenes of being a footballer. So it's his life. So I think
Right.
you get to design your footballer.
We didn't even play it properly. Just the concept.
No, we tried.
Did
We did
don't
try,
remember.
but then we couldn't understand because there were so many different things, and then we gave it to our mate, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to play it.
What about Sparky's? Is it Sparky's Magic Football or something for the Mega
Oh,
Drive?
Marco's Magic
Marco's
Football.
Magic
Yeah.
Football.
That's cool.
Didn't
That's cool.
David Beckham have a football
Yeah.
game?
I think his
What
head.
console was that
I think his head. No, there was one on the PlayStation. I think on his
Yeah,
head he had
console.
a memory card slot on the front cover. Like, no, it was like the image of it. It was like David Beckham's head with a memory card
You're gonna
slot
have to
in
try
it.
and find that.
Just
and put it on the
stupid,
video.
yeah. I'm giving myself so much editing work. So yeah, actually, we started it off like nah, but there are some alright football games out
That was
there.
actually a pretty good question, even though I know nothing about.
And
football.
there is one on the DS or 3DS,
Yeah.
which is a downloadable game when Nintendo first got into microtransactions, but it was them
Yeah.
experimenting, and they did a thing where you had to gamble a little bit. He would say £1.50, like, no, a pound. He's like, go on then. And that's how the microtransactions work, but if you ask too much, you'll be like, no, £2.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
go
it
on
sounds
then.
like Rosie Tingle's
Rosie.
Rupee Land thing.
Oh yeah.
Freshly
But this is the
fixed,
real
whatever
money,
it is.
you know. Like I think there was something to do with that, like something to do with the play. It was weird, like yeah, something. I don't know. No one might understand what that is. I don't know. Creamy Elephant, been a long time Patreon. Firstly, for the Level Up staff, what would you say appears to be the most popular system you sell content for? Would you say Sega is still? Oh, okay. I think this is a different question. So yeah, we'll do that one first. Sell content for.
Most popular
That you sell content for.
currently is Nintendo, SNES
Yeah.
and SNES and
And Game
N64
Boys.
right now, and
to
Game
be
Boy.
honest, a
Yeah, but
Game
popular
Boy.
system, like not company. What one?
System on
Yeah,
sale.
like the N64,
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo.
Personally, I'd say Game Boy at the moment because we get a lot of tourists in on their school groups,
Okay.
and they love the Game Boy.
I was in here yesterday when that
because,
happened, yeah.
because over where they're from, retro games are so much more expensive.
Sure.
So like what we charge, £30 for example, they might have to pay like €60. And over here they're coming in and they're saying it's so cheap. So they love their Game Boy with like their Pokemon and their Marios and everything. So we sell out of Game Boy. We can't get enough of it in for them. So
Yeah.
personally,
And,
that's
and
what
for
I
those
would
people
say.
that don't know, in Canterbury, between where I work and here, behind a shop called Sainsbury's, which is a big supermarket chain, for people that don't live in the UK, there is literally a massive bus drop-off point, and this small little lake walkway, you'd walk down the side of a lake. It's just swarms and swarms of French school groups and Chinese school
Canterbury
groups.
is the oldest cathedral town
Yeah.
in Kent between the coast and London. So
Yeah.
this is an immediate tourist trap.
Yeah, a lot of school
Big time.
kids come
History!
over on their
Yeah.
trip.
Cathedral!
Like a lot of our kids will go over to Paris or somewhere. They come over to Canterbury and
On the
buy
way to London, etc.
and buy their I've been to London T-shirts.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. I don't know any other town local that has that. You know, you can buy Canterbury tops and stuff
Thing is
like
that you
that.
can't. I hardly see Canterbury tops. It's all I love London. And
Yeah,
so I'm like,
yeah.
you're not going to London.
Yeah. When I saw Eminem in Milton Keynes, he was like going, London, what? Like, what do you mean, London, what? Where is it? What do you mean? Like, you're not in London, mate.
Whoops.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, a big tourist
Yeah.
top. But I find that weird because is it the same? I'm sure it's the same in different PAL territories, different parts of Europe where it makes it sound like I'm such a Sega fanboy, but Nintendo weren't popular. I don't remember anyone having a Nintendo. There was the odd one or two about, but everyone was Sega. Do you not think it's the internet that's making people like, oh my god, I need another... I don't know, I'm looking up at your NES game.
It could be a regional thing, because where I grew up, it was Nintendo.
Right.
But then we have had customers in here that were like, I never knew, like yourself, I never knew anyone with a Nintendo. It was all Sega. So it's almost like the Blur versus Oasis thing again.
Yeah, sure.
Sega, you Nintendo.
Blur.
I said Oasis, but I really meant Blur.
I'm going to be the weird voice of reason here. There's a very particular socio-economic thing behind that. Sega were cheaper than Nintendo.
They were, definitely. I do remember seeing someone with an NES, and he was like, the games are so expensive.
Because I had a NES, I don't know that. I did have a Mega Drive Master System. Sorry, I will be quiet in a minute.
No.
I don't remember. I think I just had... I know I had my Master System with Alex Kidd. I remember playing that. I had Mega Drive for some sports games. I think that was it.
Well, that's during that period, I was into the home computer scene, the Amstrads and Spectrum.
Because Nintendo's quality control was so high that they produced everything themselves. Codemasters, EA...
There was also a bit of this as well.
Yeah, Codemasters cartridges, EA cartridges, Sega cartridges on their own. They're all making games for the Mega Drive, but all the cartridges look their own way, like the EA ones with that little yellow tag on them. And the Codemasters ones...
They backward engineered the original Mega Drive, didn't they? Yeah.
You went to Sega and said, I want to produce this for your games machine. You're like, sure, go for it. Yeah. And you go to Nintendo with the same concept, and they go, right, okay, we'll give it to us, we'll make it for you and charge you for the pleasure. Yeah. Which is why
Sega did the same, but they didn't, from what I understand, they didn't charge as much, and there wasn't as many... you can't put your game on other consoles, which is why MC Kids, or McDonald's Land for people in America, is a Nintendo game, and that's why Sega got Global Gladiators.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, Sega did get...
That's why, because MC Kids was going to come out for the... Look up my McDonald's video games videos. I actually spoke to the guy that made it. There you go.
Global Gladiators.
So there's Dave Perry that went off and made that, who obviously is famous for your Earthworm Jim and your Aladdin. You know, some of the best games for the Mega Drive. Your top 10, 20 games.
I admit, guilty pleasure. I love McDonald's Land.
McDonald's Land is a brilliant game.
That game.
Did you know the Cool Spot? I don't know what I can't remember the full name of it, but the one for the Game Boy. The one for the Game Boy is McDonald Land with Cool Spot in the place.
I didn't know. I was just thinking Spot Goes to Hollywood. That was in the Mega Drive, wasn't it?
Wasn't that Virgin?
They've actually got a Saturn version up there, I think. Spot Goes to Hollywood.
Wasn't that Cool Spot Virgin Cola though?
No, 7-Up.
7-Up.
Yeah, but basically, I'm sure it's the same people. Basically, to the point where the guy that made it didn't know it even happened until I told him. But basically, the McDonald's Land for the Game Boy is the exact same game as Cool Spot for the Game Boy, but just with Cool Spot instead of McDonald's characters, Mick and Mac or whatever they're called.
Because he'd signed the license off to Nintendo, they could do whatever.
I think it's to the point where in America it's McDonald's, but in the UK it's Cool Spot.
Okay.
So it's one of those two.
Cool.
But there you go. They went off on one there. I don't remember what the question was. Biggest one is Game Boy, you said, wasn't it? The one that sells the most.
Again, it really depends. Tourists love Game Boy, students love PlayStation.
It always goes in rivers. There's different kind of popularities for everything. A lot of people, since the SNES Mini came out, everyone was raving about the SNES, and before that, NES stuff, everything.
But then, like we go through Spike to say, for example, the Dreamcast being incredibly popular and us not being able to keep it on the shelves, and then we go through a period of about 5 months and no one wanting anything Dreamcast, and suddenly it has a couple of weeks of really popularity.
You normally don't have many Mega CD games in because they come and go as soon as you get them, don't they?
I mean, I think they're just the basic
same with
ones,
32X.
You know?
Yeah,
box 32X.
Well,
we have had some box 32X in, but
they're in constant demand just because there's so few working ones left.
I think it's because, like I say, things like Global Gladiators, Sonic games, Road Rash, all that sort of stuff, Aladdin. These games now actually fetch a decent price. Not like they're not expensive, but they're a decent price. But because they're such good games, they're not rare games. They're just really good games. They're sought after games, and because they're Sega or Nintendo or these big names, and when you have 32X and things like the Mega CD, because there was less of them, they're even more in demand.
And some people also like to have, say, like, for example, with Lion King that came out on both the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, they like to see what the difference is. Because there are some differences in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely. Other than like Aladdin for both, they're completely different games, aren't they?
Well, they're produced by different people.
Capcom and Virgin.
Yeah.
Virgin. I've actually answered I realised I asked you the question that he asked. Would you say Sega was still very much held closely in nostalgia with UK gamers, or have you found Nintendo retroactively become the main interest for people thanks to the influence from content creators in the US? That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, there you go.
Question answered thoroughly. Yeah.
Thank you, Creamy Elephant.
They're both loved so much. That classic era is. That late 80s, early 90s stuff from both companies is always in demand.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, I know I rag on Nintendo because I like to be that comedic person in that regard, but when I eventually do that 100 favourite games of all time, when I get to 100k, you are going to see a lot of Super Nintendo games in there, even though I didn't play them back in the day, because now, as a retro gamer, I don't want to just go and play the exact 30 or 40 games I had for the Mega Drive. I want to go back and play those ones I missed. When I played Super Metroid, I felt like a 10, 11-year-old playing Super Metroid. Like, I can't believe how good this game is. I was getting goosebumps now thinking about that time I played Super Metroid, and I was 30 something when I played that. Like, you know, that's a brilliant game. And yeah, certain games like that are going to make the list, and I like going back and playing those games. And that for me is the difference between a retro player and a retro collector. But, you know, I mean, you get people that do a bit of both. But you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to backtrack what I say instantly. Secondly, do you think mascot platformers are making a comeback thanks to games like Crash Insane Trilogy, the Ratchet and Clank reboot, and the upcoming Spyro Reignited Trilogy? Speaking of complete history of Sly Cooper, when?
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
It's a retro kick. They've seen the success of the retro game markets. People are picking up the old consoles. People are buying what they had as kids. So all the companies seeing these trends within the people buying stuff to resurrect the old ones and remaster them and give them back the same games again to play on their current systems without having to rummage around with SCART leads or figuring out how to hook up your PlayStation through the aerial socket.
Like I said earlier, the people that
Bringing
were
it back.
children when the NES first came out are now the parents, and they want to let their child have the same experience they did. But obviously, you know, maybe they don't want to buy the retro consoles or something like that. So
Plus, it's the same game with modern graphics. Going back to some old games now can be really jarring.
A lot of people, for example, that are so used to the bright screens of the DS, if they want a Game Boy, they find it difficult because they forgot just how dark the screen is.
I can't see it.
Yeah, because I remember getting my first Game Boy, and it was absolutely fantastic. But now when I'm like testing them now, I'm like, was it always that dark? And sometimes I do actually ask you. I still ask Alex.
You definitely see it at the PlayStation games. My God, they all seem to be shaded with the colour grey. You know? Every colour, just mix it with grey or brown. Yeah, I do, but the mascots I remember aren't so much, and sometimes when they try, I feel like they're trying a bit too hard.
Your camera batteries.
No, it just hits standby.
It stops after a certain. It's because they're talking so much. So I don't know about it cut off, but basically, I think they are falling flat. There's a game for the Xbox One called like Super Lucky Tail or something. Fox. I think that's such a crap character. The gameplay's probably fine, but how rubbish! It's just a fox. And I know technically that's what Tails is.
It was a squirrel.
Oh, was it?
I thought well, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I know. It doesn't. A squirrel?
Even in the 2D era of the PlayStation, possibly moving into things like that, and you had T.Y. the Tasmanian Tiger and stuff. I think they're cooler than Super Lucky Tail. Like, I suppose the rare people come back, didn't they? With not the Banjo-Kazooie, they had the
newer one,
ukulele.
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, that's quite good.
You never really got that far in it. Though.
No, I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's quite good. I suppose it's the indie scene that are going to be bringing it back big time with your Shovel Knights and your Binding of Isaac, which I know isn't really for kids as much. When you get the Santry Tail power up, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm playing Hollow Knight. I can't exactly see myself getting a tattoo of it or anything.
I mean, the poster boys for it. I mean, Mario for Nintendo is still there. Sonic for Sega, he's still the poster boy for Sega.
You see Sonic, you know it's Sega.
Yeah, I suppose like when Sega are releasing games now, they're things like the newer games are things like the Valkyrie games and the Yakuza games, and they're not really mascot-esque games. I mean, you know them for Sega, obviously Yakuza, but they're not the. All I'm thinking is just cutesy characters.
Yeah.
I suppose you've got the
it's going back to the 80s,
but that's
90s.
when they started going a bit darker, didn't they?
Yeah, this is going back to the 80s and 90s when the mascots were cute and cuddly. This was back in the day when, maybe say on a TV show. I remember, for example, seeing like Pride and Prejudice, and then Terry Wogan on Points of View getting so many people saying, "How dare these two characters look as though they're sexually attracted to each other?" This is the 90s, where it was cute and cuddly mascots and stuff, and before all these, Is
there room for mascots anymore? I don't know.
I'd
Bring
like to
back
think
Segata Sanshiro.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there is any. Is there really? I mean, all the big ones that are famous now, all the ones I can think of are ones that are things like Kirby and Mario and the Pokemon characters, ones that were from back in the day.
Yeah.
But modern.
Yeah, so they're still popular. In that regard, yes, there is definitely room, but for new ones...
Games are being pumped out much faster than they were back then. So back then there was time and money and energy to put into getting a mascot up, giving Mario all these games, so many games that he's still in. But today, there's just so many other game companies, we don't have
an answer for you. I don't think we have an answer for this one. He also asks, lastly, you have a choice of a new Burnout or Crazy Taxi game, the best in their respective series.
I know what
you must sacrifice one franchise to get it made. What do you pick? My opinion, Crazy Taxi is my preferred game because I to this day, I think I've never played a game more. I was so addicted to the original Crazy Taxi.
I'm the opposite. I'm Burnout.
I know, but I love Burnout, and I would think I would choose Burnout and sacrifice Crazy Taxi.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I would.
Burnout's a bigger game.
That's the same. I would pick to keep Burnout. Crazy Taxi, I've got no love for, but Burnout, I played so much and I loved it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Do I have to choose?
You have to choose.
I know you're a Crazy Taxi fan.
I love it.
But you love the soundtrack. Is it the game? The soundtrack. He always has the soundtrack on. That's the thing. It's like whenever you have to test the Dreamcast.
Because wouldn't it be great if there was a Crazy Taxi soundtrack out? Like, really? There's like 3 songs in that game.
There you go on.
And also with Burnout, you get an every language. Burnout Paradise, you get an every language version of
Deciding vote
of Avril Lavigne's girlfriend.
Okay, we've got Crazy Taxi, we've got Burnout.
No, I'm saying Burnout as well. I am saying Burnout. Yeah, even though I love Crazy Taxi, I'm saying Burnout because I think there's more.
Go on, be a rebel. Be a rebel.
To sacrifice Burnout or to keep Burnout? Sorry.
To keep Burnout and sacrifice Crazy Taxi, and that pains me to say because I adore Crazy Taxi. It would be in my top 20 games, but I think Burnout Paradise may beat it. Possibly even 3 as well. Burnout 3.
Need for Speed Most Wanted because Criterion made that.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel the same. You don't drift the way you drift in Burnout, and they've never done. No game's ever done it since.
With my friends,
Burnout stays. Burnout stays.
We've all agreed Burnout stays, and that's painful.
Oh, that's hard.
I felt like it wasn't as hard for you to say Crazy Taxi.
I don't have. Again, it's going back to
when you learn, and you know this obviously, when you learn the crazy stop, the crazy drift, the crazy bounce, everything, like you just become one with the ridiculousness of Crazy Taxi.
I spent so long playing Burnout on the Xbox with a friend of mine, and she and I just, doing the trick shots and just seeing how many points we could get and smashing into cars. It's so much fun.
But playing Crazy Taxi with the fishing rod.
Okay, I don't know how many people know that you can do that.
You're going to be one of a handful of people that have done that, but I want to join that handful of people that have done it.
It works on a surprising number of Dreamcast games.
There you go. I always thought it was better on the system as well than the arcades. It was so much better to play on a Dreamcast controller than in an arcade. Crazy Taxi.
Have you tried it with the actual Dreamcast steering wheel?
No, but I played it in an arcade.
Didn't we have a arcade machine?
There's the steering wheel up there.
No, one of the arcades.
Daytona,
that's what I'm thinking of then, yeah.
Yeah, we had a Daytona arcade machine for a while. That's awesome.
Well, it lasted about
Everyone had it. Isn't that like the arcade game that killed arcades because it was so good, That's the myth. That's the myth. Like, to the point where it was so good, no arcade owners wanted any future games. That's the theory behind it. That's the theory behind it. Because everywhere you would go, there would be a Daytona. In my opinion, I think Scud Race is actually better than Daytona. But Daytona is brilliant.
Turbo-tastic.
Thank you as always for your continued content. Looking forward to all the new videos. Stay creamy. Thank you, thanks. And he's actually signed it as his name, thanks. Creamy. And Mike Fallon, what was DJ Slope? Why was DJ Slope going to quit the detective agency in Family Guy? No one knows what this is all about. Basically, an old clip of Family Guy has emerged where they say DJ Slope, and they talk to a character called DJ Slope in Slopes. In one of the, and it all popped up recently, but as much as I would love to think that's got something to do with my channel, it actually was aired before my channel started. So, I'll try and play a clip, but it'll get hit by ID content. Maybe I'll put a link to it or something, I don't know, if I can find it. Anyway guys, they are all the questions. Thank you so much. Thank you all to these guys. Thank you to Jack, who's obviously very, very hungry. Hey Jack. You can come over, Jack. Come over, Jack. Yes, thank you all to Level Up Games, to Jack, to Gemma and to Alex for having us. I don't know what I'm going to do next time for Q&A, but I'll try and do something quirky once again. And guys, thank you so much. If you want to be part of the Patreon list, there'll be a link down below, and if you want to go check out Level Up Games, there will also be links down below and on the screen and all of that jazz. But anyway,
splendid.
Yeah, you're good. Excellent.
Yeah. No, we're grand.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to let these guys go and enjoy a Pizza Express. That wasn't a surprise, was it?
No.
Guys, this is DJ Slope and Level Up Games signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye.